The legalization process of ayahuasca in Brazil is full of paradoxes, and it's full of limitations, and it's poor in many aspects. But nevertheless, I think it's a very good example to be looked at, because there is no ideal solution, and above all, there is no universal solution for the drug use. I think that the drug issue has to always deal with local solutions and communal and culturally based solutions. So the case of Brazil is positive, because you have this first moment when it is important to say that in the beginning, these religions, they did not call state attention because of the topic of drug. When they were born, especially Santo Daime in the 30s and the 40s, it was a religion that was marginalized because of being done by like colored people, poor people, and this witchcraft and curanderistic kind of religion. So in the beginning, for like 40 years, maybe the prejudice against these religions were much more class prejudiced and prejudiced against certain types of religiosity. It is only on the 70s when these religions start to get the attention of the nation, the more wide nation, that the issue drug comes up. So the first meetings of the authorities with the religions happened in the 70s, when the Brazilian government was also starting the drug war on the Amazon, starting to put the first police offices on the Amazon and all that. And then in the beginning of the 80s, there is this event that was brought up that was, we could say, maybe the founding moment of the tense relationship of state and the groups, when some people from the Cefluri Santo Daime branch, that is the line of Padrinho Sebastião, were caught up with some marijuana joints, because in this branch they used to use Santa Maria, or cannabis sativa, received the name, was baptized as Saint Mary. So these people were caught with these joints, and their plantation was destroyed and all that. And this was in the beginning of the 80s. So by this time, around this time, the first commission went to investigate the groups in the beginning of the 80s. And then in the middle of the 80s, in 86, these plants, the ayahuasca plants, were forbidden, put under the prescribed list, and the government started to a multidisciplinary working group on the use of ayahuasca. And they made a commission with anthropologists, doctors, and the native representatives, and went to visit all the churches. And after like almost 2 years of negotiations and meetings, they decided to take out the plants of the list. So there is not, I think, like a law. The plants were just left aside. And on this document, it was said that the religious and ritual use of ayahuasca was authorized. And then you had several new episodes in 1992, in 2001, 2002, that they were constantly being reopened and rechecked and re-questioned, but always coming back to the same point. Like, there's nothing really new. The idea was that if there was not a new event, things should be kept like they were. But there were some people always, crying out there, like conservative, the always there, prohibitionists, people that I don't know why they insist so much and try to control other people's lives and minds and bodies, but they're always out there trying to forbid you to have sovereignty over your own body, your own subjectivity. And this is like a coalition of conservative, evangelical, and police and repressive state forces. But on this specific issue of ayahuasca, thanks God, they were beaten up, and I hope they continue to be. And then in 2004, the government gave a new resolution where it gave a real kind of an official status to the use of ayahuasca in Brazil. This was a very important document, and this document was like an official stamp. Like, now we kind of recognize definitely that the religious use of ayahuasca is legitimate.